Hey guys, it's Laurel. Today is Saturday, October 14th, and this is FLOSSTUBE number 26. So I'm glad to have you back if you're a returning subscriber. I'm glad you found me if you're somebody brand new. I have a couple things to talk about before I show you my stitching today. It's going to be a short video. I don't have a whole lot to show you. It's only been like 11-12 days since we did a video, and we were gone 4 of those days, so obviously not as much stitching time as I normally have. I do want to take a minute and just maybe just give a quick little recap to some of the new subscribers. This week is my 1-year FLOSSTUBE anniversary, so I had started FLOSSTUBE. I think my first video was October 16th last year. I had started FLOSSTUBE to keep my mind occupied. If you do not know, our daughter has joined the Air Force Reserves. She has just celebrated her 1 year in the Air Force Reserves. She is currently on her first deployment, and I'm a little bit of a mess, to tell the truth. So we do get to talk to her every day, and that's fantastic. It makes me very happy to get to see her face every day, but she is working really hard, and she's really tired, and she's just really loving what she's doing. So I just wanted to thank everyone who has been so nice to me over the past year and understanding, and there's been a few military moms that have given me a little bit of encouragement over that year, and I very much appreciate it. That didn't take long at all, did it? I thought that would take longer and I would be a blubbery mess, but I'm holding myself together pretty good. But anyway, it's very exciting to have been here for a year, and I've met some friends through this that will be long-term friends, and I do appreciate all of you. I know that there's people out there that watch that don't necessarily comment, but you are appreciated, and I just need to let you know that. Today is like the weirdest Saturday ever. It is like 10:15 in the morning here. I have my last load of laundry in. My house is clean except for my bathroom. That's all I have left to clean. Normally, I haven't even thought about starting my weekly chores. My husband's out of town for a food show, and so I got home last night and I was like, he's not here. It's normally our, night we go out to dinner or whatever. So I was like, I'll just get my house clean and knocked out. And I feel pretty good about it. I kind of like it. So when I'm done here with this video, I'm going to go back out and do some stitching, I think, for the rest of the day, and just be pretty lazy. It's very rainy and dreary here today. And that's okay, because I have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go at all. My son took one of the pups to the vet this morning. She had a follow-up appointment. Poor little thing has an ear infection that she just can't get rid of. So the other two are pretty chill at the moment, and I almost left them out, but I don't trust them. So I put them to bed for a little nap so we could have a little stitching time. So like I said, I don't have a lot to show you today, just because I've been gone. My niece's wedding was last weekend. I've been talking about the wedding. It was absolutely beautiful. It was so cold. It was in the mountains, but it was really neat. The venue she had was gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. I cannot wait to see how her pictures turn out. But it was very good. Everything went really well. Her parents put on a beautiful wedding, and I was just so glad to be there to share that day with her. So it was super exciting, super cute. All right, so what have I been doing? Well, I have a finish. If you haven't been watching me very long, I'm a slow stitcher. I am. So I would just like to let everybody know the paint has dried. I know that it has felt like you have been watching paint dry, watching me stitch this piece, but the paint is finally dry. It's done. So that piece is Lucy Beam, Though He Seemeth Sleeping. I have enjoyed every single stitch in this piece. Every single stitch. I said it in the last video. There's not one time I picked it up that I have not absolutely been delighted to stitch this. And I don't know that that's ever happened on a project. You have points in the project where you feel like you're really getting a lot done, and then you have other projects you're like, God, I am just, is this thing ever going to get done? I was a little sad last night to put my last stitch in it, but here she is, and it's beautiful. I do plan on getting this framed. I don't know if I'll just order the frame and frame it myself, or if I'll let them frame it. I don't know. But I'm going to take my husband with me because he picks out good frames. But here she is, all done. I stitched this with the DMC conversion that is in the chart. The only exception is the 2 baskets at the bottom. I made a little boo-boo, and I pulled the wrong color floss, but I liked it, so I'm keeping it. And in the original chart, the baskets are filled in, but after I stitched this, I really liked it. So I am very, very happy with how this turned out. And I have to tell you that, like, I was probably 3/4 of the way done, and I had a moment where I was like, oh, this would have been beautiful done all in shades of red. That would have been so pretty. So, but she's done. Now, I was going to leave there's some over 1 stitching right here on the date. I was going to leave that off, but I took it to work with me yesterday, and the lighting in the room that I stitch in that office, it is fantastic. It is like the best lighting. So I did go ahead and do the over 1 stitching for the date. And it turned out pretty good, I have to say. I'm pleased with that. So I don't mind over 1 stitching. It just really, you feel like you're spending so much time to get it done, and then it's just teeny tiny. So, but I got some big pieces coming up that have some over 1 stitching. So I thought, you know, I won't be lazy. I'll just go ahead and do it. So now I'm going to show you just my couple whips that I have. It's not very many. Again, like I said, we were gone for 4 days out of the last 12 since I've seen you. And I'll show you the piece that I took with me thinking I would get some stitching done. It's pretty funny. But so we're gone for 4 days, and then you come back and you need like 3 days to recoup. I am not as young as I used to be, and a 4-day wedding weekend was a lot for my old self. And I have to say, I was a dish rag for 3 days. I could not hardly function. So I really lost 7 out of the last 12 days of stitching. So now that I said that, I don't feel so bad about not having so much done. The next piece I worked on is Waiting for the Harvest. It's out of Winds of Autumn, Blackbird book. I don't have this in the right page. Oh, hoopties. So this is what it will look like. I'm stitching out on a piece of 32 count brash by Picture This Plus. Oh, and I know y'all have heard this 100 times, but I'll just tell you since it's right here in front of me. The Though He Seemeth Sleeping is on 28 count Lugana Silver Fox by Fiber on the Wind. So this one is on 32 count brash Lugana. Now, last time I said, you know, it shouldn't take me long to finish this. I am barely further than what I was before. But I did come across the bottom, and I started the second pumpkin. And this has really been fun to stitch. I really like it. I'm sorry, I have a dog hair on my screen. I gotta move that. I did another piece. Where is it? Oh, it's right here in front of me. So I did this piece a while back on the same piece, and this I did 2 over 2, and this one, about to drop some, and this is 1 over 2. So you can just see the difference. I like both of them, and I think they both work for that particular piece that I was doing. So I I may work on this one some later today. I don't know. I'm very torn. I'm in that, like, I want to touch everything. I want to stitch everything. But if you stitch on everything, then it looks like you don't have any progress. You just have nothing going on. So next, I want to show you, this is my focus piece for this month, which is so funny because we all know my track record here as of late for focus pieces. But I told you in the last quarter of the year, I just really fall off from my plans. I have consistently over the last 2 years. When fall hits, like, plans are just out the window. So I'm trying really hard to stick to my plans. I did put at least a strand of floss in this. I would say, so I did my video on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I probably did 5 days. Oh, I'm sorry. That was pleasant. I probably did 5 days of putting 1 or 2 strands in this. There's another one coming. Have no idea where that came from. No idea at all. But, so there's not a lot of progress, but if you just keep doing that, there will be progress. So I'm going to try to get back into that since I'm rested up from vacation. But this is my focus. Long Dog Samplers Pandemic. And I had said last time that I was far away from a page finish, but I'm really not. The page finish is in a different spot than what I thought it was. So, I gotta put all my stuff away. This is where I am. Probably should have gotten this out and folded it better, but you know, we all come up with things that we should have done prior to FLOSSTUBE in the middle of filming a FLOSSTUBE, right? So this is where I am. So I'm going to fold it one more time just so I can hold it better. So what I did was I finished filling in these flowers. I came down and finished this little section, and I came down and did this little funky animal, whatever this is right here. So the page break is really, I thought it was like over here somewhere. So I thought I had to come way down to here, but the page break is really only like right here. So there might be a couple little stitches right here and just coming down this section, and I'll actually have a page finish. So maybe once I see a page finish, I will get a little motivated and get this done. I mean, it's beautiful. And I did think about Sarah with Sarah Stitchy Spot. She did, she said every time she showed hers in her floss tube, then as soon as FLOSSTUBE was over, she would stitch some on it. So I may try that too. Like a stitch a night and then a stitch a night. A thread a night and maybe a thread after every FLOSSTUBE. I don't know. I don't know. You know, plans. But again, I just want to do everything, so it's very hard. So the next piece that I worked on, oh, I about dumped the whole thing out. I was going to try to get through. Oh wow, what have I done here? This is very creative, the mess that I've made right here. Hold on just a second. Apparently when that all dumped out, it caught my needle and got tangled up. Okay, this is Let Love Rain by Trees Kogut. So I've loved this since the minute I saw it. It's big, but I like big cross stitch charts. So there are 2 people that I have watched recently that are working on this. So I just want to talk about them right now while it's on my brain. So 2 floss tubers. One is fairly new, one's like brand new. So the first one is Jen with, she is the Harbor Stitcher. I will list both of these down below. She just put out maybe her, I think 5th video. I really like her. She's just very soothing to listen to and talk. She is a really fantastic stitcher. She didn't show this in her last video, but a couple of videos back she showed it. And she was actually there went the drop. It just has to happen in every video. Everyone. I just remember she was stitching across this row, this chain right here. And I was like, I got to get it back out. I got to get it back out. So anyway, she has, like I said, she has 5 videos out. In her last video, she was discussing that she is debating about whether to continue her FLOSSTUBE journey or not. And I just need all of you to go over and subscribe to her channel because I really like watching her. And if y'all go over and subscribe, maybe she will lean more towards staying on her FLOSSTUBE journey. So go watch her, Jen, the Harbor Stitcher. Second FLOSSTUBER. She has 2 videos out. And I know that Sarah mentioned her in her last video, which I watched after I had watched her 2 videos. And I was talking to the screen to Sarah. I was like, yes, she is fantastic. Fantastic. And I feel like I may have had a conversation back and forth at one point with her on FLOSSTUBE. I'm not sure because she is a big fan of Teresa Kogut, and she has actually stitched models for Teresa Kogut before. That's amazing. That is like a feat to say that you have stitched a model stitch. Her name is Jan Holder, and I have heard people mention her name before on FLOSSTUBEs, but she has now done 2 FLOSSTUBE videos, and they are both amazing. I might go back and watch the second one again because she showed a bunch of finished Teresa Kogut pieces. I love Teresa Kogut. Like, next year she will be my Mania person. Every year for Mania I pick a designer to do, and she's who I have already picked for next year because I almost did hers this year. But Jan shows this one finished. Is jaw-dropping. So the name of her channel is Hoop It Up with Jan. So I will list that below also. But please go watch both of them because I promise you're going to love them. Okay. Back to Let Love Rain. So I was like, you know, I've been wanting to get this back out and work on it. This was started in March last year. I really didn't want it to have a birthday. But in order for it to not have birthday, I mean, I got to bust out some serious stuff on this. So I don't know. It may have birthday. I don't know. But I thought this would be great to take to the wedding, right? Let Love Rain. That's a good, like, you know, wedding stitch. I'm doing it on Lugana, 32 count Lugana. I can do that in the car. It'll be fine. It was 2.5 hours to where the wedding was. So 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back, 5 hours. 5 hours in the car I had to work on this. I knew I wouldn't get much stitching done there, and I literally, while we were there in the house, I probably put 4 stitches in, and I was like, this is not going to happen. But I'll show you what I did. I am using all the called for flosses. Now there is a point where there is a symbol that says you can either use black or another black or a really dark brown. So that's messing with my head a little bit, but I think I am going to use black for that symbol. But I just love all these colors, and then this pop of blue is what just did it for me, just made it. Oh, I have to tell you something funny. So in the last, well, it's funny to me, it's probably just goofy to you, but in the last video, or the last time I showed this, I don't know if I showed it last video, but I get it out and I'm looking everywhere for the tag, and I'm like, I don't know what I did with the tag, but I think this is what it's stitched on. There is a giant label inside my project bag. Giant. 32 count platinum Lugana. Giant. So this is where I am. So since you've seen it last, I filled this brown in. I did a little bit of green. And then last night I came over and worked on my words. Now I did make a mistake in the words, if you remember. And yeah, so I was just off one. And I'd already done part of your and let before I realized it. So I just went ahead and adjusted between let and love and between your and heart. So I'm back on track now with my words. And I don't think it's going to make a difference. But I love these flowers. Now what I did in the 5 hours in the car. 5 hours I had. See this dark brown in here? Or this medium brown? That's what I did in 5 hours in the car. 5 hours. Because on the way there, the time that we were driving was right at that point where the sun is like between your visor and you just can't get away from it. And it was like glaring in my husband's eyes. And I said, you know what, honey, let's just go ahead and stop, eat dinner. By the time we come out, the sun will be down far enough that it won't be such a hindrance to you. So we stopped and ate. Then we came back out, got on the road, and within 10 minutes it was dark. So, or dark enough that I couldn't stitch. So I put it up, and then on the way home, once again, old lady, exhausted. So we had stopped to get breakfast, and then we went a little ways, and then I think maybe we stopped for like a bathroom break or something, and then I finally picked it up. So I took this. It's been to the mountains. It had a vacation. It went to a wedding, but it didn't get very much attention. But I love it, and I will continue to work on it. And again, go over and watch those two ladies. I don't remember which video it was that Jen showed hers, but Jan and Jen. That's funny, isn't it? But Jan's was in video number 2. So I hope to continue working on that one also. I hope to continue working on all of my pieces. All right, so now I want to talk about plans. I need to see, did my son just get home? Yes, he did. So I want to talk about plans. I did a little bit of stitching on wildflowers and knee-high, but not really enough to show you. It would have been like, you didn't do anything on that, Laurel, so I didn't bring them to show. But I want to continue working on those. I still need to work on my other Whipco piece. One of them is knee-high. The second is my Nutcracker Village. And I haven't touched it yet, but I still have some time. My Though You See Me Sleeping have been my Sunday piece. So I need a new Sunday piece. So I had said I am going to pull out Disturb Us Lord by My Big Toe. And this is going to be my new Sunday stitch. So I am down, I have done all this and I'm down to right here. I'm starting this section of flowers. This is on a piece of 16 count Ada that I coffee tea dyed a long time ago. And this is what it looks like. It's going to be really pretty. I am using the DMC conversion. It has DMC and overdyed cottons. But I did pull the DMC, and that's what I'm going to use. That's what I am using. And this is just really stunning when it's finished. So that would be my new Sunday fill-in. And then my plan right now, once this is done, then consider the lilies will fill that Sunday spot. But that will be a ways away, obviously, because you're about to watch some more paint dry. Okay, so that's kind of it for what I have done. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of haul, and then I'll be done. I told you it was going to be super short today. So the next thing I want to show you is I bought this pattern, and this is one Brenda and Laura showed, I'm pretty sure. I am sure they showed this. And I had to go buy it because I told you when I'd gotten down to those berry bowls in the Lucy Bean piece. I was like obsessed with berry bowls. And then they showed this. Agnes Hewitson. And I promptly went online and ordered it. It is, what's the stitch count? 108 by 131. That's not too bad. But look at that big berry bowl. Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Yeah, and I don't think, I haven't looked, but I don't think there's any specialty stitches or anything in there, but. So, I'm very excited to have that one. And then I bought, this was on flash sale, I think, at Fat Quarter Shop. 36 count eggshell by Fiber on a Whim. Ooh, you can't see that, can you? Let me do this. So I thought that'd be a really pretty, like, sampler piece. It is, and of course all the samplers that I want to do right now, the bigger ones, need a fat half instead of a fat quarter. I have a couple fat quarters, but the things I want to stitch are bigger, so there will be some more shopping. And then I got floss for this that I also bought, Dwelling Place. Teresa Coquette. Now there are these little pieces in this book also. And you've heard me raving about this. It is beautiful. These stars down the side, just look at that. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to do this. So I was going to see if I could show you the pictures, the other things. I'm sure you've all seen these because everybody's been showing them, but those are so pretty. So pretty. So I'll be fabric shopping to see what I can purchase to stitch that on. So I just have two things of haul to show for quilting. I was going to wait and show them when I actually had some quilting to show, but if I don't show them now, I'll forget about them and they'll get lost. So I'm just going to show them real fast and then we'll be all done. Oh, I do have one other thing I want to talk about for plans. So don't go away because I really want you to hear this little bit of plans. This was a flash sale with Fat Quarter Shop. It's $1.50. Look at that. Smoked cheddar by So Emma. Now this is an old pattern. It's like from 2015. But I will be on the hunt for similar fabric. Indigos and cheddar. I mean, that's just so pretty. Oh, I can't even. I don't even know what to do with myself. Oh. And then I thought about going out and doing some quilt shop hopping today, but it's just nasty, so I don't think I'm gonna. And then the next thing I got was my American Patchwork and Quilting. I love this. Love it, love it. I wanted to show you this one other one that is in here that is so pretty. This is called Evergreen, I think. Evergreen. It was designed by Annette Plog. Look at this. I love that. I love me a half square triangle. Love it, love it, love it. They're such a pain to do, but they make the prettiest quilts. So, and this would be pretty in any color. I mean, you wouldn't have to do it in greens, but the green is very stunning. But that would be pretty in blue. It would be pretty in red. It'd be pretty in, like, what am I trying to say? Like ombre. Like start with one color and mesh down into another color. But I just love it. So pretty. So, anyway. So, let's just talk about plans for a minute. So, I said I I showed you in cross stitch what I was going to do. Quilting, I have a quilt that I started binding 3 weeks ago. It's still not done. Not because it's taken me that long, but because I cannot get enough time to get that done. So I want to get back on my quilt binding, but I've been talking about that for like 4 videos and it hasn't happened yet. But I have, you know, wedding stuff is over. I've got one pillow to fix for my friend that I may try to do today, and then I will be back just whatever my projects are. I have a special project that my daughter asked me to do that I'm going to start on. If you are interested in taking part of this project, if you just message me, I will be glad to send you an address where you can send these to. And I don't have one to show you, so I'm just a little scattered, but let me just give you the gist of it. So she works in fuels. She fuels airplanes. They cannot wear jewelry on the flight line. They cannot have anything on their person that can create a spark. So when she came home last year, she was gone at Christmas. She got to fly back in from tech school. She got me this bracelet. So she has one and I have one. It has a little heart on it. So I always have it thinking about her. She always has it thinking about home. Well, she can't wear it on the flight line. Now, she has another little set of bracelets that her and her boyfriend have. One says, it's in Morse code, it's beads. One says, I'll be home, and one says, I'll be waiting. It's super mushy sweet and all that stuff. But I needed her to have something from her mama that she could take with her on the flight line. So I made her a little heart, and it's small enough. It fits like in the palm of her hand. And it's literally 2 pieces of fabric with batting between in the shape of a heart because it has no metal in it. She can put that in her pocket and know that she has home with her. So she has asked me to make some of those for her to give as Christmas presents to her fellow airmen. So I am going to do that. If you are interested in helping making some of those, like I said, if you just message me, I'll have all my information down below. She would love if there were other people that got on board and helped to do that. I do think, you know, obviously we are a little more in tune because we're now a military family where we were not before, but I think it's very important for us to support our troops, and I am absolutely going to do that if I get nothing else done because that's what she asked me to do. So that's all the babbling that I have for today. I'm sorry it was so short and not so much to show, but I couldn't go 2 weeks and not talk to all my friends. So I have missed y'all terribly. And I hope you get lots of stitching, lots of sewing done over the next 2 weeks. I will be back in 2 weeks. I should be back on schedule with my Saturday mornings to film these videos. And I will see you then. Bye, guys.